Right, 25 September 2025, and today I'm going to be quickly giving you a morning update after a holiday here in South Africa. So yesterday was Heritage Day, and it was very interesting. I did manage to go around and do some things, and particularly there were a lot of events here in South Africa, including a Guinness World Record attempt, which took place as people in South Africa were attempting to break the record for the biggest number of people to carry out a braai. And then the embassies obviously tried to outdo each other, with the Russian embassies and the American embassies carrying out events. The Russian embassy planted trees over here, and then the American embassy also posted their activities in Cape Town and in Pretoria. So very interesting day, Heritage Day. People dressed up, and it is a very important annual kind of holiday that takes place here in South Africa. So let's quickly go through some of the things that have happened yesterday. I'm going to keep it short because I know that we've been coming so quickly and so many times, and then we're going to be having shorter streams as the day goes through. So today we've seen the first part, or the first leak from Chiwenga's dossier. So Chiwenga presented a dossier which is rumored to be around 20 pages to the top 5 of ZANU-PF. And the reason for presenting this dossier was, one, to confront Mnangagwa and accuse him of being part of corruption. Secondly, to accuse people around Mnangagwa of participating in not only crime, but corruption. And thirdly, to support his call for stopping ED 2030, and then obviously to support the fact that Secunda is owned by ZANU-PF. So it was a well-researched and thorough dossier which has been prepared over a long period of time. And to support the fact that people should be arrested, for example, people like Wikino, Chiwenga had to present evidence of crime. And some of the crimes that Chiwenga presented to Mnangagwa include international crimes being performed by Wikino. That is Wikino's involvement in international terrorism with ISIS and with other bodies. I think I've covered this story in the past, where Wikino is being accused of working with international terrorist organizations to import Toyota vehicles into Zimbabwe. And one of those dossier documents is a handwritten document that is now circulating online. So if you go online, you will see this document that is circulating here. And it shows the path of Toyota vehicles that are being donated or imported by Wikino into Zimbabwe, and how they are connected to international syndicates and terrorist organizations like ISIS. So I've gone onto our online portal, Gambakwe.com. You can go there. If you cannot read that, you will see the actual detail about what is written in that handwritten document. We've asked our AI to take out that content and type it out. So it's typed out on Gambakwe.com. You'll see that it says there are 3 steps which are being used by Wikino and people around him to import Toyota vehicles into Zimbabwe and then move that money out as part of money laundering. Not local money laundering only, but international money laundering. The problem with that is that this also implicates the children of Mnangagwa. As you are aware, the dealerships that are being used to import these vehicles and to donate these vehicles are connected to the children of Mnangagwa. And that is, I think it's Exquisite Car Dealership or Victor. Those people are involved in money laundering. So this is one of the first documents to be leaked. And then there is a document on drugs, people who are producing and distributing drugs into Zimbabwe. So these are serious allegations being made. And you're going to be seeing more and more parts of that document coming out. But Chiwenga has presented a very comprehensive document. And as I said, that has started leaking out. And we're going to be seeing more and more parts. And that is also still under investigation after it went to the Politburo. And the Politburo asked the top 5 of ZANU-PF to continue the investigation and report back to the Politburo. So we're going to see what happens. But as it is right now, let's see if we're going to get more explosive revelations on how Wikino is connected to international syndicates and what they're going to do, how they're accusing, or how Chiwenga is accusing Scott, Tagwire, and Delishingwaya. Why should they be arrested? We now know why Wikino should be arrested. According to this document, is involved in international syndicates, money laundering, terrorism. What about the others? What is the accusation so that which Chiwenga is saying they must be arrested for? In terms of Tagwire, what is the reason? What has he done? So that dossier, those parts of the dossier are not yet out. But I'm sure that as the days go, we're going to be seeing more and more of those parts of the dossier that was presented by Chiwenga. However, it's clear the line has been drawn. There's no coming back from this one. These guys are taking each other out one way or the other. Okay, I think that is our headline. Let's quickly move into other news. So I'm going to quickly look at our favorite newspaper, the H Metro newspaper. That's my favorite newspaper. I'll read it every morning. So they are leading here with a story, a very interesting story. That is one of the most popular dancers in Zimbabwe, Vimbai or Chocolate. She is now a Christian and is now married to a pastor. So you can go and check out that story inside of the H Metro newspaper. Vimbai Muzuva, a popular dancer in Harare, is now a Christian. She's no longer doing dancing. She is now my pastor. And then in terms of international news, Rihana has given birth. She has posted here at 11 p.m. a new baby daughter, Rocki Irish Mares. That is after a long pregnancy that was being displayed all over the internet. So the American ladies, they are very interesting when they are pregnant. They like to show off. And currently, Cardi B is going crazy showing off a pregnancy. Then Zimbabwe ICT Minister Tatenda Mavetera has met Will I Am. So you can see her here. I don't know if someone can help Tatenda Mavetera with her wig. She has one of the most interesting wigs. And I think they need to help her with a stylist. But she is meeting some of the top people. She also met Google executive James Manyika. And you can go onto her Twitter to check it out. So she's displaying that meeting like crazy. Then in South Africa, we have the arrest of Teboko G. Mashego. It is trending. And the police have come out and said he was not arrested. This is a very popular but troubled young man who was stuck in Nigeria. He was allowed or helped to come back to South Africa and has been wearing the same clothes for over 2 weeks and making all sorts of allegations against people. So yesterday he was thrown into a van. A video has been shared, but police have indicated that this is not an arrest. He was just being removed from the community for his own good. Then in terms of cars, you know that Thursday is the biggest car day in South Africa. You get to know about what is happening in the automotive sector, and the Chinese car manufacturers are invading South Africa like crazy. So today they are featuring the new Bakkie that is coming in 2 months' time. This is the JMC Vigus. It's only $300,000. So sorry, rands, 300,000 rands. So that is approximately $15,000 for this amazing Bakkie, single cab Bakkie. And this has got all sorts of features. So it's coming in 2 months' time. If you want to buy a new Bakkie and you like Chinese vehicles, this is the new one that is coming, and one of the cheapest Bakkies you can ever buy in South Africa if you like to carry stuff around. So this is your car. And then the Mercedes Benz is coming in a month. That is the GLC is coming in a month. And this is all electric. It goes for 700 kilometers without needing a recharge. So this is amazing. And as I said, Thursday, a big car day. You can go check out all the newspapers in South Africa, totally free. If you drop off at the airport, pick up your copy. They don't sell newspapers in South Africa. It's totally free. Then there is a big thing happening here, which is people are being thrown out, illegal immigrants. They're being followed to clinics. Children are being followed to school by operating Dudula. But a raid is also taking place at factories. So yesterday, 158 illegal immigrants have been arrested at KZN. So if you're working in South Africa and you don't have papers, start preparing to go home. This is not the place for you to be hanging around. Things are bad. Unemployment is bad in South Africa, and it's not going to take long before they get to you. So if you are not having a permit, don't come to South Africa. If you're in Zimbabwe, stay there. If you're in South Africa, start preparing to go home. There's nothing for you here. It's bad. It's terrible. And if you're sick, don't come to South Africa thinking you go to a hospital, they're going to remove you and throw you out. So if you're pregnant, stay in Zimbabwe and get treated that side. Don't try to go to South Africa. There's nothing for you there. Now, let's quickly look at other newspapers. We're going to start with Herald Zimbabwe. As you are aware, the election in Malawi was done. We've managed to stream yesterday. The biggest stream worldwide was Gambakwe next to the Malawi page. So remember, Gambakwe streams on all platforms, and the Malawi guys were only streaming on their Facebook. So Gambakwe was the biggest platform for streaming the Malawi presidential election results. I'm so proud about it. And in 7 days' time, there's going to be the inauguration. So the inauguration will take between 7 days and 30 days. So very interesting to see. We're doing very well. And we're going to be starting to cover the Seychelles elections. So I'll let you guys know when we start covering the Seychelles elections. We are focused on elections because Gambakwe is going to be contesting in 2028. And we're going to do very, very well. The only game in town is Gambakwe 2028. Then in the Herald newspaper, Lenakapavai is one of the biggest topics right now. So let me explain to you guys what is happening with HIV. So because of AI, there are a number of cures and preventative methods that are coming to the fore. AI is becoming or is going to become a big game changer for HIV. However, HIV prevention is very big, particularly the HIV lenacapavir injectable is going to be given twice a year. Currently, it's very expensive. You want to get this, I think it was costing $20,000 a year to get lenacapavir. But under this arrangement, this is going to be totally free in Zimbabwe public hospitals. So Zimbabwe is set to record major gains in the fight against HIV following the announcement of the rollout of lenacapavir, a revolutionary twice-yearly prevention drug, which experts say will significantly cut new infections. So if you get lenacapavir, for 6 months you won't be able to catch HIV, and then you have to come again after 6 months. They inject you, and you're going to be totally unable to. It's like a long-acting PrEP, but in a much, much more advanced form, because 99% of the people who take this don't get HIV. It's a total, almost like a vaccine. So it's very interesting here. So let's see what is being said here, because it's being published every day. The embassy, United States Embassy, is also published on this. And let's see if there's any new information here. Lenacapavir is an HIV medication approved to treat multi-drug-resistant HIV in combination with other antiretrovirals and to prevent STIs acquired HIV for at-risk individuals. Administered as a subcutaneous injection every 6 months, the drug works by blocking the HIV capsid, preventing the virus from replicating at multiple stages of its lifestyle. So I don't know if someone who has got HIV can be treated. So you doctors can tell us if someone who has got HIV already gets injected, what happens? So Mrs. Winnie Byanyima stressed that equitable access was key to ending AIDS. So go check out this story in the Herald newspaper. The Herald gives their newspapers for free. And then let us share the page. I want to show you there is a general who has arrived in Zimbabwe who met, what is his name? General Valerius Banda. So there is our General Valerius Banda here. He has met General Staff of the Angolan Armed Forces, General Altino Carlos Jose dos Santos, right, inspects a guard of honor at Josiah Magamatongo Gara Barracks in Harare today. So that is Valerio and General Staff Altino Carlos Jose dos Santos right now in Zimbabwe. And then let's see if there's anything else of interest. I want to just quickly check if there's anything else here that I want to share with you. And then Chakwera Konzi's defeat, Harare Derby is going to be ongoing. And then in business, IDBZ plans US 50 million fund for horticulture. So guys, we're going to go into horticulture. I like horticulture. Let me tell you what has happened in South Africa. And listen very carefully to this. Because of the fight between the Americans, Israel against South Africa, so there's a big fight taking place. Products that used to come from Israel are no longer being imported into South Africa. So the South Africans procurement, what they're doing, they are stopping buying stuff from Israel. Israel is one of the biggest producers of horticulture products. So if you go to Woolies, you realize that you won't be able to get watermelon of off-season. So you also won't be able to get things like blueberries that come from Israel. So there is a big gap in the market to the point that normally I buy watermelon and I couldn't find watermelon, we couldn't find bananas at some point, we couldn't find blueberries in Woolies. And that is because of this procurement fight that is taking place in South Africa. So if you are a provider of horticulture or products, instead of trying to go all the way to sell in Europe, try to come to South Africa and find a market. There's a big gap in the market. So a big shortage is taking place, not only at Woolies, but at many other places where they import goods, especially from the horticulture sector. And the prices are quite high. In South Africa, I can get big prices here. The only thing you have to do is to know how to label your products, how to talk to the procurement managers, and you do very well. You make a lot of money and you get your money quick. Within a week, you have your money. And then in terms of results, we are looking here at, let's see which results have come out here. Axia. So let me see who Axia is. Guys, you have to help me. I've been out of Zimbabwe for a while in terms of the names of the companies, so they've changed. I know the stock exchange, but some of these names are not familiar to me. I know TV Cells, Transev, so I don't know how this came about. This purchase of Transev and TV Cells, and rest assured. So this is the result here. Very little increase in revenue, showing the depressed market in Zimbabwe. But look at that profit. That is massive. 40% US dollar increase in profit and headline earnings. So you can check it out. And that is 196 million for TV Cells and higher. Doing very well, these guys, in terms of profit. But look at the down arrow there. That is revenue or cash generation. So they're not selling a lot, but whatever they sell, they're killing it in terms of profit or markup. The markup is massive. We're talking here of almost 50% profit that they're making. Then let's go to Chronicle newspaper. I'm not sure if Babungile has been buried, so I'll check it out later on this afternoon. Unfortunately, I got out of the Zimbabwe High School groups, so I need to find it, ask our guys from Zimbabwe High School groups what has happened. But I'm sure that the guys know what is going on over there. So there's Chronicle Zimbabwe. Right. This is the same story. Bulawayo HIV burden eases. So new infection dropped by 44%. Remember last year, I was almost killed by people for reporting on HIV in Bulawayo. The number of people living with HIV in Bulawayo has declined from 79,000 in 2020 to 76,000 in 2024 as new infections continue to fall in response to significant progress. So currently 98% of those infected are receiving ART. So guys, I want you to understand what's going to happen. By next year, if they roll out lenacapavir properly, we are talking here of no new infections if we have enough drugs, if we have enough HIV drugs, lenacapavir, if it comes in. I don't know how much they're going to give, but this is going to be a game changer. And then police nab foreign national for 17,000 cross-border fraud. A foreign national, John Herman Simon, who is accused of orchestrating a cross-border fraud scheme, has been arrested. So I will share this with you inside of Gambakwe.com. And then Babongile obviously being featured by Ingwebo Breweries. You can go and check it out here. So check out Ingwebo Breweries paying tribute to Babongile over there. And I'm sure that he was one of the people that they worked with. He was doing very well in Bulawayo as part of Sky's Metro. Okay, I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover here. Boso Mon Babongile. Babongile at one point wanted to be the chairperson of Boso. He wanted to actually contest in the elections. And then Simba Bora prepare for some sort of character test. And then I don't know what else here. Who is Tagara I's bigger stage for Zim athletes. Right, I think we've covered that. Let's go to Zambia and see what is happening with the Zambians in terms of the newspaper. I want to see what's happening with the Lungu. I'll update you guys with the Lungu. What's happening with the Lungu? There is still no resolution to that dispute, but obviously we have information which we can share with you very soon. All right, I want to look at the current newspapers of Zambia. Nothing new here has been published. And then in Botswana, let's see what has happened with the Botswana newspapers. As I said, we'll be looking at Seychelles elections. We are totally focused on elections. We are going to win. Mnangagwa is going to be defeated. Whoever he puts in that position of ZANU-PF President candidate will lose very badly. So today we don't have a new newspaper from Botswana. So let's stop the newspapers. Let's go to our people. And I'm going to go to our Facebook and look at my usual people. I know that some of them are lying low given the current circumstances. We are expecting tomorrow a revelation of who is supporting Geza. So the Zimbabwe Youth Action Platform has said on Friday they are going to reveal who is supporting or sponsoring Geza in ZANU-PF. So we're going to let you guys know what is going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to start here with Madam Boss. Madam Boss, she's the most popular person in Zimbabwe in terms of endorsements. Look at her. She is wearing some tights. So she's showing off her new tights. What is she saying about them? Hameno vanoita gym. We are mutengi gym way. It Madam Boss VIP couture. I'm coming to buy Madam Boss. Then let's go to Sadak. What is Sadak saying? Sadak is currently in Seychelles, as I said. So let's see what they're saying. Shaping Africa's industrial transformation. at Unga. So that is Mahosi over there. And then statement by Chakwera. He has issued a statement of SADC. And then German Embassy, SADC and German Embassy Corporation. All the funders are back after Mnangagwa left. When Mnangagwa was SADC chair, all the funders left. No one even funded SADC. And then let's see if there's anything on the Seychelles elections here. I am surprised to see that there's nothing here about it. I'll let you guys know what happens, and we'll be following that election very closely. As soon as we get information, we're going to give you that information. So, okay, so they say Honorable Nyirenda, former Chief Justice of the Republic of Malawi and head of mission of SIOM, paid a courtesy call. And so that is the courtesy call that we have seen here. And then Minister of Foreign Affairs, let's see when the election is. It's sometime this week. So I'll let you guys know as soon as the election starts. And we're going to be on top of it. Then let's go to Chido Sanyatwe. Chido Sanyatwe, I don't know what she's doing now. Are they still contesting or not? Say no to drugs. And then that is it. That is all that was posted on a page. Let's see Sanyatwe's page himself. What is posted. Remember, we're in the middle of a drama. And this drama is going to pick up before the ZANU-PF Annual National People's Conference. And all these guys are part of it. Right, let's see what Sanyatwe said. Anselam Sanyatwe, the Minister of Sport, former Army General. Okay, I think he is slow. Let's see how long it's going to take to go into his account. So there it is. All right, what date was that? 18 September. And then 18 September. There's nothing new here. So he last showcased material and intangible cultural heritage. So that is the last time that he posted on 18 September. Right. I think we've covered that. Let's see what else is there. I want to look at one or two other people. My favorite people like many have not posted. Probably lying low. President Akandi Chilema. I lying low. Take cover. Then let's see. We had the honor and privilege of meeting the chiefs. So that is President Akandi Chilema met all the chiefs in Zambia. Amazing stuff. Zambia has got so many chiefs. I cannot believe it. The budget must be crazy for the chiefs of Zambia. You know the people of Zambia, they're amazing. They're my people. Almost every year, I go to Zambia so many times. I like Zambia. It's amazing. And then President Dumaboko, here, let's see what is done. You know that DBS is offered to buy the mines, the diamond mines of Botswana. So President Advocate Boko, who is also chairman of the African Leadership Malaria Alliance, hosts a media press conference for ALMA in New York. That is New York, right? Okay, what do you say?
Every one of you, and thank you for being here today. I appreciate.
Okay, thank you for being here today. President Dumaboko is amazing. So I think we've covered everything. Let's now go to our headlines. We said the dossier that was prepared by Chiwenga, which was presented to the top 5 of ZANU-PF, had 3 or 4 objectives. The first one was to show that Wikino, Tagure, Scott, and Delishingwaya were involved in criminal activities and needed to be arrested. So Chiwenga had to present evidence of crime. And we've seen today one of the portions of that dossier, a handwritten note, which shows that Wikino is involved in international money laundering and works with terrorists, including terrorists from ISIS. So I've shown you the document here, which is part of that dossier here. So it is a handwritten note, and there are many other documents that show that some of these guys are involved in drug peddling and smuggling, and some of the things that they do, for example, handing out cars, is part of cleaning money. dirty money, which is being cleaned by Chivayo. So Chivayo is probably the person who is most likely to be arrested, not only locally, but if he ever steps foot in some countries like America, he's going to be arrested. And investigations will have to be carried out on these criminal activities. So this is one of the portions of that dossier. You know that this links directly to Mnangagwa's children, as they are part of people who are donating cars. And therefore, the actual revelations in front of Mnangagwa were an accusation of crime taking place by Mnangagwa's family. And then the issue of drugs, smuggling of gold, all these things that we've talked about in the past, and a syndicate operating in the government of Zimbabwe, or state capture. They've been captured by criminals. And then secondly, we had obviously the issue of Tagwire stealing the shares of ZANU-PF in Secunda and hiding them, and then not giving ZANU-PF their dividend or portion of the money that they were supposed to get. Mnangagwa using the money from from Secunda to sponsor ED 2030. These are some of the accusations that are in the dossier. It was prepared over a long period of time by people who have got intelligence knowledge. You can clearly see this document was done by hand for a reason. I don't know why they didn't want to use a computer. Maybe they know that their computers are hacked. So it's not true that ZANU-PF knew that this dossier was coming. When you do a dossier by hand, you want to avoid people knowing that you're working on it. And this was thoroughly done. There is 20 pages or more in this dossier, and we hope that we'll be seeing more and more of the contents of that dossier, so that by the time they go to conference, then there will be action taken. Remember, investigation is still ongoing. This thing was pushed back to top 5 for action. Top 5, that's where Chiwenga sits. You've got Upam Chinguri sitting there. You've got Mohadi and Mnangagwa sitting over there. And I think the last person who was there was Obert Mpofu, if I'm not mistaken. So that means a result will have to come. What is going to happen? It's still in progress. But what I want to warn Chiwenga is to stop relying on shadowy characters. So people that's just lack of a proper structured team. He needs to have a proper structured team. And stop dealing with people who just say Shigananda. You need to move away from Chigananda narrative and focus on change. So at the moment, he is next in line in ZANU-PF. If he's going to become successful, he needs to have a solid team. And right now, what is happening is that Chiwenga is being supported by people that are coming from everywhere. And some of the information he gets is not correct. So it can easily be debunked, and then it discredits everything. So he needs to have a proper team and work with people that are actually knowledgeable and who are able to work within the structures. Corruption is evil. But in Zimbabwe, corruption is a pandemic. It's everywhere. You have seen what I showed you last week about the legal system of Zimbabwe. So corruption is not only in ZANU. It is part of the way of life. So whoever is going to come into power, we have to dismantle the system of corruption, the acceptance of corruption among the people. The people actually think that if stealing is normal in Zimbabwe, so you'll be surprised that if you say Wikino is giving cars, some of the people who want to take that car include pastors, community leaders, activists. Some people who are activists have received cars from Tagwire. It's well known. Popular activists that you know stopped doing what they were doing because they received those cars. Some of them are driving the Fortunas, the GD6. The popular GD6 has killed our country. And that is because people don't have values. They lack values. And they believe that if they can't beat them, they must join them. That is the way of thinking. And that includes people around Chiwenga himself. Some of them do not believe that getting a car from Chivayo is a bad thing. They believe it's fine. They believe that getting a car from Tagwire is a good thing. How do you dismantle that system? It's very important to understand how to dismantle such a... So he's got a long journey to travel. Chiwenga has got a long journey to travel, and it has to do with formalizing his new government. If he's going to form a government, he has to work in a new approach and a new structure, not what we have right now, where someone like Tatenda Mavetera, with no experience in ICT, she can't code. Like if you ask Tatenda Mavetera to code, she doesn't say, well, code what? She doesn't know. And that goes through the whole government. It's not an excellence government. It's a government of, I think Mnangagwa just say, who do I like? And the appoints. So you need a new approach. Zimbabwe will not work without a leader. You need a proper leader. Right now, we don't have a government in Zimbabwe. We've got a mafia. We've got a family, sort of mixture of a family friendship club. It's not a government, what you have in Zimbabwe right now. That's why our country will never work. And whoever is taking over, obviously, we hope that Gambakwe 2028 does it. Whoever takes over, we have to do a lot. Our country suffered under this guy, Mnangagwa, the Methodist guy, Aka broker. Right, I want to quickly go to Chamisa. Let's see what Chamisa said today. Chamisa, he's not going to form anything. He's just going to keep coming and saying some short jokes, but he's not saying going to form anything. And what you want to say is Chamisa is a content creator. I don't think so. Oppo sometimes some of the things he says, I wonder where he gets it. But he said Chamisa is a content creator. So let's look at what he said today. Leadership come and go. Indeed, leaders servant leave. His Excellent Chakwera of Malawi joins the proud league of incumbents that respect citizens' choices. So he talks about the concession by Chakwera. What a disappointment. This man, he has such good English, but he did nothing for Malawi. The Malawians are going through the most in South Africa. The lowest job you can find in South Africa, there's a Malawian. The worst farm that you can go to, there's a Malawian. These guys have destroyed Malawi. But what is worse is for Zimbabwe not to have an opposition. And Chamisa is responsible at the moment because people are looking to him. And we're in 2025, election is in 3 years' time. You can't fail to have a solid government in waiting because you can't win an election emphatically if you're not present. So what has happened in Zimbabwe is obviously Chamisa has not been available and present, but at the same time, he keeps saying, I'm coming to form, I'm coming to come and form. And then what will happen is when the year comes, the election year comes, then he's not going to be able to form anything. We're going to see it. He's not forming anything. And then people will have to scramble. That is why Gambakwe 2028 is coming. We're going to do so well. And unfortunately, I would have loved to have one solid coalition. Tomorrow is our last day. We've asked presidential candidates to present themselves. We've got about 10 presidential candidates right now. I've been showing you guys how to campaign as a presidential candidate. So what I'm going to do, tomorrow, we're going to approach everyone who has expressed interest to be a presidential candidate. And then those who are able, they will be able to come here and talk and present their manifestos and show us what they can do as a presidential candidate. But it's a disappointment what is happening with Chamisa because we want him to do well. But at the moment, he's not doing anything. He's just tweeting, and that is not right. Okay, I think I've talked enough about that. Let us go to the comments and then we're out. Let's see who has given us a comment. No one will join that fake party of yours. Yes, don't join my fake party. Stay with nothing. Stay with it. Stay. Munofan and Zara, man. If you don't do what I'm talking about, Munofan and Zara, some of you are going to die in foreign countries. Some of you are going to die with nothing. If we don't change the government in 2028, you are going to have one of the most difficult times because your children will have to change this country. Do you see that our parents failed to remove ZANU-PF? We are doing that now. Imagine your child now trying to remove ZANU and the ZANU culture. Because the problem is ZANU. ZANU has been captured by Mnangagwa. Do you why the dossier was rubbish? I didn't say the dossier is good. I'm just telling you what's in the dossier. And then your problem, as you know, how anything told by the Americans is manna from heaven. Why this HIV vaccine? It's not a vaccine. It's an HIV prevention. This HIV is the biggest came in the glom coma. People have died. A lot of people. And then this guy is confused. Yes, that guy is confused. Then who the hell are you to tell people not to come to South Africa? You can come if you want to be chased. Tucha, lebara, alako, zibara. All right, let's go to our sponsors. Our sponsor is Mve. Guys, Mve is amazing. Buy your packet. This is our last batch of Mve. Then we're going back to 1/4 of this size. And you will be needing to buy more and more to get the same quality. Please buy your packet and you get 1 packet of Mazundo spice for free. So that is our numbers here. In Zimbabwe, 775-900-577. South Africa, 68526-7921. And all the benefits over there. It's amazing. This thing, we're getting 150 people a month overseas buying it. Diabetes, high blood, antibacterial, and then a TD tucha, neka 1 liter. 1 liter turns into 3 liters. 1 kickstart, and you don't have to crank it. Especially to my exotic dancer, utkutuno jairina. TD ma pasta, singarori, my exotic dancer. I can imagine the pastor agarora exotic dancer. Some pastors are man. Okay, so I think that is covered. It's amazing. Thank you everyone who's bought the cameras. Our cameras are now finished. We're done. And I hope that you guys are secure. Okay. I think we've covered everything. I'll see you guys. In fact, I forgot to look at our bloggers. So let's look at our bloggers. Today, I want to look at what? Let me see who is published. So I want to quickly look at militancy. Some people that I follow, they publish like once every 3 weeks. That is crazy. How can you publish once every 3 weeks? That is crazy. And I really enjoy these young bloggers who are overseas, who go to Dubai and all that. They help me to understand what is going on. But I'm not seeing militancy here. Laura Tapiwa, they've not published in a long time. Maybe the house. Let me see what maybe is doing. What is Gertrude doing right now? Maybe probably the shift. That is crazy. Well, like when she went to UK, you can literally see her face changing from the shift. Like guys in the UK, how do you live? Like you work so hard. So she hasn't posted in a long time. Who else? Musekas. Let's see what the Musekas have done. And then obviously we've got other bloggers that are not really well known. So if you are serious about YouTube, you must be posting every day. Otherwise, Kundai Chitima, I like Kundai. Let's see what Kundai Chitima is doing. Kundai Chitima has bought a farm in the raw areas and is currently showing off his farm. So let's see what Kundai Chitima is doing. They left the UK to build a self-sustaining home. Wow, that is amazing. So let's see what he's doing himself. The real reason I chose business at my rural home. So he's putting greenhouse at the village. So guys, let me tell you what you should do. At the moment, stop doing all these things until Gambakwe 2028 comes into office. We've got a big plan for you. And guys like Kundai. Kundai was one of the first guys on Gambakwe. He created our Mozambican newspaper. He was working on our Mozambican newspaper. So he's doing very, very well. Check out his channel. It's amazing. So what I can say to you is wait for Gambakwe 2028. The plan that we have is like this. We are going to create 160 new towns. And then raw land is not going to be part of the land that you see or that we're going to develop on. So there will be the North Corridor and South Corridor with 160 towns. And then what we're going to do with raw land is we're going to formalize agriculture. So instead of doing agriculture the way we do it now, we'll formalize it and it will fit into the market. So locals are going to make a lot of money from agriculture. You'll be able to supply millions and millions of tourists that will be coming to the country. So wait all these small projects, like having one little farm there, one little farm there. That's why agriculture is not working in Zimbabwe. It's very expensive and people are losing. So we've got a plan for everything and we're going to do so well. So I'll be able to see you here later on. Let's see how many minutes. 45 minutes. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa. So Makandiwa, one of my favorite pastors. I talk longer than him. And I do that every day. Can you believe it? There's no person in Zimbabwe who streams more than Gambakwe. In fact, worldwide, there's no one who streams more than Gambakwe. Right, I think we've covered everything. We've been doing so well. Let's see what happens with Chiwenga. Tomorrow is a big day. Are they going to reveal who is behind Geza? Because they say they're going to do it. So I'm looking forward to Zimbabwe Youth Action Platform. Obviously, ED 2030 has stopped. They've stopped talking about it already. This week, we only saw it. Super Bandwazira has gone away. All these guys, Barbara, she's gone away. Ever since Chiwenga came out of that dossier, everyone has just stopped. So let's see what happens. And then I'll update you guys later on today on what else is going on. So as I said, it's important to understand. We need elections. So without elections, you can't change. We need to focus on elections. 2028 is the game. That's where everything's going to happen. And I'm going to be on the ground. We've got a clear campaign strategy. And I don't even have to make it a secret. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have an office in Harare. That is going to be our center. We are not going to do what Anachamis have been doing, like going to the ground and the grassroots and all that. That's not our approach. We are going to focus on civil servants. We're going to focus on the major towns. So that is where our focus is going to be. You're not going to see Gambakwe just going to address 2 people in a village. Makes no sense. But we're going to do so well. And our value proposition, our manifesto is so well done that everyone will understand it. You're going to get a house. You're going to get $1,500 in your pocket. You're going to get the North Corridor and South Corridor tourism-based economy. Everyone in the diaspora is going to come home. It's clear. We've got clear policies, clear small government, only 8 ministries, devolution. If you're in Matebeleland, you're going to have your minister who's got a budget, who is going to be responsible for your area, and the money is not going to be coming all the way from Harare. High-speed rail, you'll be able to travel 2 hours at your home, and your government employee is going to be the job that everyone wants to do. If you're working in the government, no one is going to have a better job than you. That is what we want to do. And we're going to get millions and millions of votes. 75%. That is our target. So we've got a lot of work to do. And we are going to be transparent about what we're doing. Candidates are going to be selected. You are going to want to be with Gambakwe 2028. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you again very, very soon before the end of this day. And a good day to you all.